and welcome back to Kyber Codex. Today we have another lightsaber demo, review, and overview. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 89sabers Kylo Ren. Now, there are three different versions of this available. There's a completely clean one with bare steel side emitters. Then you have this, which is clean, but has heat-stained side emitters. And then there is a fully weathered one available as well. So the fully clean one is basically if you want to do your own heat staining or your own weathering. And then this is more in line with the prop from The Last Jedi. And then the fully weathered one is more in line with the prop from The Force Awakens. It's installed with a Proffieboard V3.9. It has a 21700 battery. Takes 3 7/8" blades, and it has shine through all over it. It's a very nice looking hilt. Feels very good in the hand. It's surprisingly light. It weighs a lot less than I expected. In terms of accessories, it did come with a battery charger. It also comes with a pair of side blades. As I mentioned, these are just 7/8" pixel blades, so these particular ones I think are some kind of 3D printed resin, maybe? They have a nice pearlescent finish, but I don't think they'd be very durable. So if you're taking this out to a con or something and want something a little safer to have, out, maybe just get some extra 7/8" blades that are nice and short. Also comes with, extra retention screws and a set of Allen keys. It does take a different Allen key for the main blade than it does for either of the side blades. It also comes with this nice little display plaque. So let's kind of take this apart a little bit. I'll show you the chassis, show you where everything turns on. So to take it apart, you have to lift the top of this wire and then lift this bracket out of here, and then you just unscrew. I would hold the wire back to keep it from, keep the end from scraping anywhere on the finish. And then once that's unthreaded, you just pull that on out there. So you see you have Lightpixel PCB minus the pins on the bottom. So that'll get you shine through down through the engine here and out the little tiny windows on these greeblies. There's also some polycarbonate in there. I don't think you can see it from here, but it's basically like a tiny little blade plug inside that engine. There's one in here too, just to help diffuse it a little bit. You might be able to see there's also one inside the chassis here for a ring of accent pixels to light up through the windows in the greeblies up here. And then this lights up as well, the engine up top. And then that kind of shines through into the clear wire. It makes that light up top a little bit. There's also LEDs on the buttons. These are not connected for data like the rest of them. So you can't program these as a blade style. They're just on when the blade's on, off when the blade's off. And then there are Lightpixel PCBs on all three emitters, so you do get shine through on the blade plugs without having to use pixel blade plugs. Proffieboard V3.9 is housed in this hard cover that's screwed down. You can use a tiny Phillips head screwdriver to remove this cover and get access to your board and your SD card. And then you'll note that there are 2 kill switches on this chassis, which a little bit strange, I would guess. You don't see that very often. So the bottom kill switch is for the Proffieboard, and the top kill switch is for all of the accent lights except for the ones in the buttons. So I'll turn it on real quick. And when I turn it on, you'll see no accent lights. Except for the switches here. Not even in the engine, really. You just get the pixel connector PCBs. But now, turn the top switch, and we've got lights all over. So now that we got that put back together, we can take a look with all the accent lights on in the bottom half with the hilt put back together and everything, so you can kind of see it illuminate the top of the red wire, shine through all the greebly windows, and in the engine at the bottom. So let's take a look at these blade plugs real quick, and then we can look at the side blades before we do a full blade demo. So here we are. All three of the blade plugs are identical. They're clear frosted acrylic on the bottom with, I think this is a plastic insert put in there. It might be like anodized aluminum, but it does not feel like it. The shine through on them is quite good though, as you saw already. They're all, like I said, identical, 7/8 inch. It doesn't matter which one goes where, as you can see. And all three of them come with the hilt, so nothing to worry about there. I've seen multiple listings say only one blade plug is included, but you do get three. One thing to be aware about the side emitters, though, and I've seen this mentioned in some other demos and reviews of this, they seem to sometimes get slightly over tight during the heat staining process, or potentially their tolerance when printing one of the two side blades is off. Many reviews complain that one of the sides is hard to get the side blade in all the way, and I also have experienced that issue. As you can see, this one has quite a bit of resistance getting in there. The one on my left, when I'm holding it, buttons facing up, whereas the one on the right just goes right on in. Like, I don't even really need the retention screw to hold this one, but I absolutely do for here. Like, I have that pushed in all the way. I do not need to push it in any farther before I start and hold it before I start screwing in the retention screw here. If you do happen to have one of these empty, you can unthread the side emitters and remove them during the assembly process for installation and whatnot. But if you buy a pre-installed one, the pixel connectors are housed in there, so definitely don't do that. You will wreck the wiring to the side emitter pixel connectors if you do that. And I don't know if you've seen a teardown video of one of these, but there's a lot of parts. They're not going to be fun to take apart and put back together if you need to do maintenance. Alright, so now that we have the side blades in, we can take a little look at this. I do have this updated to ProffiOS v7.14. I believe it was on 6.7 when it came to me from 89sabers. I did throw on Brian Connor's Kylo Ren v2 voice pack for edit mode, so...
Delete preset. Copy preset. Delete preset. Exit.
And you won't really be able to see it here since I don't have the main blade in, but you'll see it when I'm doing the blade demo on at least most of the Kylo Ren fonts. I do have delayed ignition, and some of them even have delayed retraction for the side blades. Looking at the side blades themselves, the fiery sparking mold that they used, which again I think that this was resin printed, but the sculpt here is great. It looks fantastic. Looks much better than the Kylos I've seen that just use a regular saber blade out the side. I will say, though, the side blades are the one big pain point on this hilt for me. And it's not even both of them, really. But I presume it's just due to the way they're made. They're not diffused super great, which isn't always a problem depending on how they cram the LED strips in there. Like, on this one, not really an issue. But if you look here, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera or not. I can very plainly see pretty much every LED on this one. So I do try to make sure that that's pointed down, because on the opposite end you can't even see it. But this side's just so... it's pushed up so far against the inner blade wall that you really have no choice but to see it. Which isn't the end of the world. You just gotta make sure that that's facing somewhere that you want it facing. Yeah, I mean, aside from the side blade diffusion on one of these blades, the only other issue is I wish maybe it was a little louder, but I can always put another speaker with more wattage in it later, so that's not really an issue. I don't really have any actual complaints about it, so let's put the last blade in it, and then we'll do a blade demo, and come back for the final verdict, yeah?
Ken Solo.
Okay, so final verdict on 89sabers Kylo Ren hilt. I mean, what else really is there to say that I haven't said already? I'm quite a fan of it. I'd give it a 9 out of 10 probably. I mean, you've heard really my only major gripe, which is the sound and can be easily fixed. There's a lot to love about this hilt, though. It's got so many awesome places for accent lighting with the top engine, the bottom engine, the buttons, the engine illuminating the top part of this wire, all the windows on the greeblies and the grip and the pommel. Plus you have your 3 emitters, and you can see the lighting on the top all around. Here it's not just the main cutout, it comes through all the windows on the emitter shroud there. It's very, very screen accurate for The Last Jedi, and if you want something more akin to Force Awakens, the weathered version is pretty screen accurate for that as well. And you know, being an 89sabers, you know that you're getting a good quality build. Like, their hilts are very nice. This has a really, really nice finish. It's like a satin black anodizing. It's even on most of the screw heads. And then it's got this nice, like, candy red anodizing on the bottom here. It's a very nice display piece, whether you have the lights on or off. You're not going to have any complaints about it if you're an accuracy nut. And I mean, quite frankly, with how lightweight it feels, how easy it is to hold in your hand and swing around, and how lightweight all the 7/8" blades that it takes are, it's really, really fun to swing and spin this one around. You do got to be a little careful with the side blades. I've stabbed myself a couple times with them, and they're not painless in some spots. They're a little sharp in places, but other than that, blast of a time swinging and spinning this one. Truly enjoy it. If you ever get the chance to pick one of these up, highly recommend it. It's a very, very fun saber to mess around with, add to your collection. Looks great on the shelf. Makes a great companion piece to a sequel series Graflex, or if you even have, you know, a creepy uncle or a Ben Solo hilt. This will be a fantastic companion piece with any of those. And it'll really, really bring a Kylo Ren cosplay up to the next level if you got one of those. So with all that said and done, once again, this has been Kyber Codex. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and may the Force be with you.